The biggest risk of using AI isn't that it will replace your creative team. It's the content that one of your employees publishes and it has false data or copyright claims. In this video, we're going to fix this biggest problem. Many managers are requiring their team to use AI to increase productivity. They think AI can help lots of the problems and remove many of the bottlenecks in the content creation process. But many of them treat AI wrongly. They treat it like tools like spell checks or Grammarly or etc. But using AI needs a system, needs a policy and a workflow. I have had this problem before myself. In my last career, one of my best writers, my most creative writer, used ChatGPT to create a content. But it was the early version of ChatGPT, and you might remember it only had data until 2021. The output had lots of problems. The problem was that we didn't check the output and published it. And it was a big failure for us. We had to publish a public statement and somehow apologize for that content. This is the reason I try to have a playbook, to have a system for preventing these problems in my current careers and my current projects. I create a two-part playbook. One of them is policy and the other is framework. The three-rule policy prevents publishing false content, and the workflow is how your content team should follow the policy to publish the best quality content possible. Yes, I know my channel doesn't have that many subscribers, or the videos you see don't have that many views. Because I just started this channel after more than 10 years of working in different teams, in different marketing roles, working for a startup with more than 40 million users, growing content teams from 2 to 12, and having lots of experience in content writing, content team management, and etc. I just decided to have my new YouTube channel in English. English is not my first language. I'm trying my best to deliver what I learned through all of these years to you. One of the questions I see lots of managers ask about using AI is that how to make their team responsible for using AI, how to make them create the best content, which is both right, which has correct information, and engages users. The short answer is that if you don't have a system, you can't make your employees follow what you are all saying. It's better to have a policy to tell them what not to do and what to do, and the workflow that tells them how to use AI and how to spot mistakes and the problems AI might have, and how to refine the final content and make it more and more engaging for the final user. These two should work together. One of them is the why, but the other one is the how. The first part of the playbook is the policy or the why. It's a three-rule policy that you should publish, we can say, in a one-page document or maybe a bit longer, and give it to all of your content creators after being audited by the C-level managers, and everyone should follow it. Let's see what are the rules. The first rule is the Audited Tool Rule. You see lots of AI tools available. Many platforms can create content for you. And if you don't tell your content creators which one to use, they might use any of them. And you don't know if they work well, if they have good outputs, or etc. This is the reason you have to audit every tool that your team is going to use. You have to tell them only use these tools. And how are you going to find the best tool? How can you say this tool is better than the other one? We can have a central person in our team, someone who is an expert in reviewing and in checking different AI tools, and find the only ones that your team can use. The second rule is one of the most important rules we have to use in the age of AI. It's the data privacy rule. Your content team should know that they can't put all of the data you have, personal data of customers, confidential data of your company, or anything that you don't want other people know, or you can't tell the other people. You have to put this rule in your policy that your content team don't use all of the data. They can only use not confidential data when trying to work with AI. For example, you want to give some customer persona or something to AI to create your mini persona for your contents. You can't put all of the personal information of the customers you have. You have to refine it, filter it, and if you are using a public AI tool, you have to be very careful about what data to feed it. Rule number 3 is about citation and verification. We all know that AI can make mistakes. So you can't accept everything that AI gives you. Your content creators should know that they have to check all of the data and everything, every content, every brief, or any draft that is written by AI in terms of stats, data, especially sensitive data like medical, like financial. They have to ask for sources from AI. They can't accept everything it says. In a nutshell, I can tell you they have to find a human source, a reliable source, or even a website, a reliable media for citing their contents. They can't accept everything that AI tells them. I have repeated it too many times in my videos because it's very crucial. I have seen the problems that false data or mistaken information creates for the brand image. In my opinion, it's a landmine and you have to be too careful about it. Well, we now have the policy. We know what to put in our policy. We can say a one-page policy for our team. And the real question is now how they are going to follow this policy, how our content team is going to use it. If we don't have a framework, our policy is going to be a piece of paper and no one reads it. You have to define the steps by steps. We are going to cover it in the next section. But before that, please comment what is the biggest risk you are facing with using AI in your team. It can help me in my other videos. It can help others as well. Let's see what our workflow does. It receives the information, the first drafts from AI, and checks it and makes it humanized. I can say it makes it more natural and corrects the mistakes that might be in the initial draft that AI gave us. This workflow is kind of a checklist that all of your content creators should follow after receiving the initial draft from AI. Let's walk through it step by step. Step 1 is changing the robotic language to a humanized language. I will talk detail about it in the next section. But to cut it short, the content you receive from AI most of the time looks too generic and too robotic. You have to change it. You have to change the sentences and make them more humanized that everyone can read it easily and can engage with it. The second step in the checklist is restructuring the content. I'm sure you have seen it in many AI created articles. It has many uniform paragraphs. All of them are the same length. All of them follow a same rule and they don't feel like it's natural. You have to break it. You have to restructure the paragraphs. Step 3 is injecting some human touch into the content. It can be anything, a personal story, an experience, something that only your brand knows, something that only your writer knows. It also helps your EE80 signal in SEO as well. Step 4 is the read aloud process. I can say the writer, after that the editor-in-chief, and you as the content manager have to read the content aloud. You will find the problems, the change in the rhythm, or if it's not natural. You can find the mistakes there. You can find the typos. I can say not the typos. You can feel that if it's not natural and change the sentences so it's more readable and your audience can connect to that more easily. Well, these are the 4 steps. They might look simple, but when you put them in action, you have to be more careful that it is followed step by step by every content creator in your team. Now, let's go back to the step 1 and see how we can humanize the content. I have a video about that, but I will repeat the tips and tricks here again. It might help you when you are developing your workflow for creating content with AI. For detecting robotic content, it can help you detect robotic content from other companies or what you read on the internet as well, but you have to more focus on your own content. There are some signs that I personally look for them when I'm reviewing a content that is created by AI or when I write my articles on my LinkedIn, my personal website using AI. I look for them, I somehow delete them, refine them, and make them more natural. The first sign is exaggerated adjectives. You might see some words like groundbreaking, meticulous, or I don't know, the words that you might not see that in old articles that were written completely by humans were in the articles. You see these kind of adjectives more and more when the content is written by AI. If you find any of them, delete them or change them to something more simple and easy to read. The second one is two-line sentences. You see AI writes sentences with 2 or 3 words, somehow connects sentences, and you somehow lose your attention when you are reading that sentences. You can find them when AI writes the content and break them to short sentences that are more easy to read. The third one is something that we all see in different parts of content that is publishing these days, especially on LinkedIn or blog posts that you can feel that it's not written by AI. They are cliche openings. You see lots of contents written in today's fast-paced digital world, in the realm of blah, blah, blah. AI uses them a lot when writing articles. If you find them, just delete them. Number 4 is excessive bullet points. When you see a content written by AI, you see lots of bullet points. I know bullet points are very useful for delivering a message, for being more to the point, but excessive use is a sign of using AI. If you find those that are not necessarily better to format in a bullet point, convert them, reframe them in a paragraph. The fifth sign is the 3-part descriptions. You see in the sentences written by AI that there are 3 parts, for example, fast, reliable, and practical. This, and this. AI uses this format in writing sentences a lot. If you find them, it's better to change them. Maybe 3 of the elements is too much and one is enough. For example, you're describing a product. Fast is enough. You should not say fast, reliable, and blah, blah, blah. Only change them to 1 or 2. I'm not saying you have to delete all of them, but you can refine them. The 6th sign is the long uniform paragraphs. I said it before, if you see all of the paragraphs are long and they have the same length in the article, it's better to break them, somehow vary the rhythm of the article. Audience gets tired when they see a simple uniform flow of the information when they are reading an article. It's better to have, for example, one long paragraph or some shorts after that, or sometimes a paragraph that is only one sentence. And the last but not least is the exaggerated jargon, meaningless jargon. AI uses lots of jargon words in any article, especially when you tell it to write, for example, a long article, a pillar page. You can delete many of the words that is written by AI. Many of them are jargon, and you can convert them and change them to more simpler language. Well, if you find any of these 7 signs, you have to delete them and refine them to make your article more humanized. Let's review them. Exaggerated adjectives, 2-line sentences, cliche openings, excessive use of bullet points, 3-part descriptions, long uniform paragraphs, and meaningless jargon. What is the next step? Now we have the policy. We have to change and restructure our content creation team. We have to hire new skills. We can't rely on the old skills of only junior writers. This is where the concept of AI-augmented writer or AI-augmented content creator comes to action. I have a video about that and suggest you watch it right now. Thank you again for watching the video and trusting me until the end of the video. Please give it a like if it helped you create a policy and framework for your content team, and comment your feedback and ideas. It can help me a lot. Thank you again and see you soon.